Hello everyone, this is Knight of Knight's Gaming Tavern, and today we're doing a little bit of a stream of some Tainted Grail, and we're going to check out the DLC. Really do hope that you guys enjoy this. Let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty, here we go. As you can see, I'm sitting here cosplaying as King Arthur. And we're about to go check out Merlin's tomb, which last I saw was last encampment. Chisel somewhere. This is the tomb. Alright, let's check out all these side quests before we get into the meat and potatoes of it. As I have no idea what this will actually affect or not.
So, looks like fate itself decided to push you my way. That has to mean something.
If you say so.
But Kedron, that's grim news. He may be blunt as a broken axe, but he's loyal as they come. If he sent a non-Rida in his place, then he knew he was dying, and he chose duty over pride. I won't let that go to waste, and neither will you. Truth is, I'd sent him to do the very same task I've just laid before you. Gather the tribes. Call them.
Alright, now let's go check out Merlin's tomb, guys. Alright. Merlin's tomb is way over here, huh? Well, he always wasn't very... Oop. Oh dear. Sheesh. Ouch. Thank goodness Arthur's armor's as strong as it is. I thought he would have just comboed me to death. Whew, 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 whew.
Arthur, at last we stand before one another. It has been a long while, my old friend. Tell me, are you prepared to behold your life as I have seen it? Are you ready to face the weight of choices you never made and the paths you allowed to wither?
Okay, so each of these correlates to a relic. Guess we'll start with Excalibur.
You could have had everything, Arthur. You could have been everything. It was within your grasp. But you were too weak, too uncertain to claim true greatness.
Oh, I see.
You never understood that by turning away from becoming a Fore-dweller, you betrayed all who placed their hope in you. Hope for peace, for order, for strength, for the taming of the weirdness, for Avalon to become a true home at last. Had you heeded me, the Fore-dwellers would have vanished from this world, and the pure potential of the weirdness would have belonged to us alone.
Really?
You would have stood as the rightful sovereign of this land. What a waste.
Okay. Save you for last since I got the helm just now.
War demands sacrifice, and sacrifice must be seen through.
Okay. Grand.
Had you allowed me to finish what I began, Sul and Caradoc would not have suffered in vain. I did all that could be done to secure your victory. All that was required of you was to claim it. And even that you failed to. You proved yourself weak, unworthy. And now you cling to yet Tell me, Arthur, what will remain of him when your journey is done? You are the true.
People are not a fan of King Arthur today.
Now do you see what your hesitation wrought? The Red Death spreads again, and with it, chaos and annihilation. You could have stalled its return. You could have held fast to the path once chosen and become what I intended you to be. Had you allowed me to complete your transformation, you would stand as lord over them all. The Pale Lady's grief would have been soothed, the wound between worlds sealed, and the Red Death would never have stirred again. Tell me, Arthur, how does it feel to see centuries of suffering that never had? All of it could have been...
Sheesh. This is just Merlin making his case.
How many men had to die on the battlefield before
Admittedly.
you finally opened your eyes
Oh.
and did what was necessary?
Oh. What in the world?
Do you remember how long it took to decide to imprison the giant's children? You kept refusing to use them as leverage, even though it was clear from the start that it was the only path to victory. What did the lives of a handful of children matter when the survival of all mankind hung in the balance? Tell me, Arthur. Look upon it.
Oh, I thought that was a table. No, that's his tomb.
Arthur, all has been said. Step forward.
Oh. Sheesh. I need a better weapon for that. I keep this up, let's put on my actual gear.
You are not.
Sheesh. Feel bad for Merlin. That was Merlin, huh? Admittedly, am very overpowered.
Merlin, Merlin. What is there to speak of? He said all that needed to be said, did he not? Merlin wished to end the war as quickly as possible. The price of such a victory did not matter to him, and I chastised him for it. Yet he was right. So many pointless deaths could have been avoided if only my resolve hadn't wavered so. Was he? And yet he spoke as if he knew me.
I see.
Knew all my failures, all my darkest thoughts, the ones I used to confide in him at my lowest. He spoke the truth. My indecisiveness crippled me, and in turn it crippled Avalon. No, that was truly Merlin. Or at least the part of him I let down the most.
I wanted to turn you into a four-dweller.
Now, it was what we both wanted. Seawall. Caradoc. Their sacrifice now feels even more pointless. Reaching immortality was a dead end we simply abandoned. I told myself that by following Merlin's new plan, by transforming myself into a four-dweller, I would be honoring their sacrifice. Yet in the end, I just couldn't do it. And what good is the war cruel? It could not have been Avalon. Whatever the results of my transformation might have been, it was a hollow victory, marked by rivers of spilled blood and a mountain of corpses. This land is forever tainted by death, because I let my weaknesses rule me. I hesitated to use the giants, I spared the four-dwellers, and now, instead of flourishing, all of Avalon is paying the price for my indecisiveness. You have too good a heart. I hope it won't be your undoing.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I wish we lived in a better world. One where I wouldn't have to worry about that. Where your words were true. But we do not. And I am to please. Do not try to absolve me. I do not deserve it. I can only hope there might still be a way to fix my mistakes.
He did all that, then gave it up. Poor Arthur. He did all that for these people, and in the end, it failed him. I don't know why it keeps taking me to this gate, but okay, here we go. Okay, I was about to say, if that's just a cliff. Alrighty. Well, I think, yes I am. Okay, let's not try to take the plummet into the abyss. Erendite's still strongest, eh? Okay. Okay. That hurt somewhat. Let's see what goes on here.
So, you finally made it. I hope you're ready, because this... Ready to finish your journey, of course. You've come far, but every path ends somewhere. Yours ends here.
You've been waiting for me?
Philosophically, not you specifically, but someone like you. Literally, yes. And I was getting quite bored with the wait.
What is this
This
place?
is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death.
It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand.
What
Well,
can I
first, you're
expect?
going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just a step?
You know,
Just
he has a
remember,
point.
once you step through, that if you've come, go on.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truth buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are. A truly rare and joyful occasion.
Who are you?
Forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer
Okay.
than I care to admit. But names mean little.
What is this
lingers
place?
here, it's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form. Raw potential. Unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits.
What do you want from me?
Precisely the opposite of what Caradoc was. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time.
So he wants to kill him properly. And you want to resurrect him properly.
Ridiculous, I know. But yes,
Hmm.
that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you.
How?
Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. They feared
Why would you
losing
divide
what
his
Arthur
soul?
represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure if bound to his relics. You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on three parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out two pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. The other was his humanity, the most fragile part. Merlin thought compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born. I tried, and I found his humanity. It's here, bound, kept safe. But the Four Dwellers' aspects was left to drift, untethered between worlds. Finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole.
What?
That's why you found the king's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back.
Yeah, I kinda gotta say.
You flatter me. No, I couldn't have predicted all of that. I merely nudged the Red Church in the right direction and asked Caradoc to assist where I couldn't. I can see you're still doubting me.
Yeah, what do you
I
want to
bring
achieve?
back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. It won't. This time, Arthur will be whole. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it. Whenever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers if things continue this way.
Yeah.
They will follow him. That's what people do. When weirdness comes to their doorstep, they'll beg first. Help me bring the... Now you need... I made my case. This is the...
So my choices are to resurrect or kill King Arthur. Camelot is corrupted. That's why I had the giants go destroy it. Everything is divided. A central figure could fix things. But Arthur himself even failed.
I was there when it all began. When Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was alive to his army.
What will I do?
We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. For a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just and no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I want it?
Because it made you
I'd
immortal
like
in
to
the
believe that
process?
after 600 years, I've moved past Pet. You need to understand that he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man.
True.
And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow, they waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to fix Avalon. What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn, let it rot, let it rebuild. Then let it. If this world can't stand without a dead king propping it up, maybe it deserves to fall. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my
Sheesh.
concern. If the weirdness takes them, so be it. At least it won't be another king's failure. Another lie propping up a dying world. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And a puppet king, maybe they'll keep... Call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them ride. I just want to watch it all come down. What comes up, I've lived. And we'll never know if that's true, because we've never tried. And who ever said that we were meant to survive the weirdness at all? We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand.
True.
Resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural law. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. This cannot. Listen, you brought Arthur's soul back together. Almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish. So, you're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. Complete what you can, and then we'll meet again. Go.
I don't think his way will stand either. Is there a third option? Because Arthur doesn't even know if he can do it. And Caradoc just wants to watch everything burn. Alrighty.
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed, all because someone thought it would serve the greater good.
Dang.
And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. I want release. I want to kill me. Just... He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble. People always seek some. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth. He sees a symbol, but symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened, and thrown at every problem? Let me die. Not as Arthur. Not... Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another's, but please. I don't care. To not feel the burden of all my...
Dang.
To not see...
Suffered that much.
Isn't that prove? Do what you... And that you... I don't just let me...
Yep. I'll choose to respect his autonomy as a person. He suffered enough. Poor man.
Help me bring the king back. Now you need to... I made my case. This is the...
Go on.
Always a pleasure to see you. Let me...
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I do not offer meaning. I require. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now, choose. You will vanish into the story you chose to. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. You will shape the world to become its witness.
Thinking about this logically, Arthur didn't do a great job, so Orin's way isn't it. Especially since it seems like this has happened multiple times before. If I take it for myself, who's to say I'd do any better? And if I give it to someone else, who's to say they would? And then I have that pleading soul over there who's begging for oblivion. Nope.
Who do you have?
Nope.
Then the idea shall fall, its weight discarded, but the soul is not yet yours to give.
Thank you. But promise me, you will win this fight, my friend.
Alright.
After
I promise.
you've seen, you side with Caradoc. Then all the suffering. Avalon will be reborn. Perfect.
Nope. Even in your story, it
You brought
ends.
down the cycle with steady hands and no promise of glory. You did not claim the throne. You buried it. There is no king now. Only the truth you made and the path others may follow. You had no answers, only scars and the will to keep walking. And sometimes that was enough to keep others going too. With One Eye and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. Because of you, the men here remained and the Kuanacht endured, not just as a place, but as a legacy of quiet defiance and hope. Lord Yvain was remembered as a hero who gathered the wise and set out in search of the Grail, while Kuanacht stood as a peaceful haven amid the weirdness. You awakened the giants, and with them at their side, the Dal Rita conquered Camelot. As the capital fell, the customs of the tribes spread across Avalon. Not everyone welcomed them, but the change had already taken root. Firgas was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brendan backed by the Dal Rita, the Forlorn Swords, he saw that the South's alliance was strong enough to stand on its own. He urged Camelot to leave the South in peace, and turned his attention to securing the rest of Avalon. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South, with the horns of the South at his side. Over time, the Dal Rita of the Fallen Swords rallied to his banner, forging a unified force. With the South secured, he stood in a strong position to launch future conquests across Avalon. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Magat left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, surprising many who had long considered him harmless and weak. His fate remained unknown, but in time, the people spoke proudly of the last druid, claiming him as one of their own. Urfra left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. With Helmi as the new matron, the Volca returned to their former glory with renewed ferocity, their berserkers filled with an aggression that stirred quiet fear among the other tribes. Among the united tribes of the Dal Rita, the Volca were treated with equal parts awe and mistrust, seeming to teeter closer and closer to madness. Ingrid turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Strana's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. Following Galerna's path, the Sven clung to the old ways, their faith sustained by the Stagfather's living presence within the unrealm of the hunt. They turned inward, shunning outsiders, and deepened their devotion to the blood-stained rites of their ancestors. You stood as her protector, and the Bee Queen believed you understood her purpose. But from the ruins of Brock Mala, her brood now spreads unchecked, and the South must bear the weight of your promise. You chose to free the Four-Dwellers, but captivity had broken their minds. They turned on their savior and were slain. Without the song, the Stone Warden craft ended, and their legacy was lost with the death of the last of their order. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember. O Queen Cinnamon Sage never forgot the bond he shared with you. Proud of the path you chose, he built a small shop near your grave, and in quiet moments, still spoke to you as he once did. A friend loyal beyond the bounds of life.
Well, guys, that was Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, and the new DLC of Merlin's Tomb. I'd like to thank all of you guys for stopping by the stream, and I will see all of you guys in the next one. I would also humbly beg of you guys to please like, follow, and subscribe upon Twitch and YouTube, as the more that I can grow the channel, the more I can be of benefit to you guys. I want to do things for you. I want to host events and things like that. Consider becoming a member and donating, and I wish you all well. Be well and have a good night to all of you. And thank you for stopping by at Knight's Tavern.